everyone.
Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello. So nice to see you all. We do love seeing your faces, so if you're willing, please turn on your cameras at the bottom of your screen. And you also might want to click the chat feature. It does work best on the computer, but when you click that chat, you will be able to ask questions and comment, and you will also get to see the artist websites posted on the chat, so you can view while you're seeing their presentation or after. You can see that people are already starting to use the chat. We do love to know where you're from. So go ahead and pop where you're from in the chat.
That's hilarious.
Chicken lady, I want to see who you are.
I love the squirrel.
And the squirrel.
Marcy.
That's right. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. So we also want to tell you one technical thing. I'm going to go slow here so more people can join us, because I know not everyone can get here exactly at 5:30. So to tell you the technical thing, if we have any disturbance on the Zoom link tonight, we are going to post another Zoom link that you can access. So the party will go on no matter what. How we do that is we actually post a new link to the artparty.org website. And that way you can go there, click in, and we'll be there to meet you. So now that I've said that, we obviously won't have any trouble, but it's great to have a backup plan. Now that all that technical stuff is out of the way, I would like to have a quick cheers for all being together. Welcome, everybody. Cheers. We're going to go ahead and mute everyone now. Don't be offended. It's just Zoom protocol. For those of you that don't know me, hi, I am Kathleen Tesnakis. I'm thrilled to be your host today. I have been a sustainable wearable art designer for the last 25 years. You can find my work online at ekologic.com. That's ekologic.com. I am also one of the co-founders of Art Party Central. I love being at these parties. It is just such a great opportunity to learn more about these wonderful artists and learn about new artists as well. So I am also really lucky to have Nora Swan of Swan & Stone Designs with me today as co-host. You can find Nora as admin in the chat. And if you need anything, feel free to reach out for her. She's going to be making sure our experience tonight goes smoothly and troubleshoot for anything that might come up. Her website is swanandstone.com. She makes the most wonderful hats with her partner, Sam. So you definitely want to check out their website as well. But tonight is about another group of fabulous, fabulous artists. So enough about us. Today we are joined by 6 super talented artists: Joy Stember from Joy Stember Metal Arts, Jan Lichtenstein from It's by Jan, Laura Burkett from Laura Burkett Designs, Karla Gudeon from Karla Gudeon Art and Design, Mimi Kirchner, Jennifer Lippman-Bruno from Jennifer Lippman-Bruno Designs. Let me tell you a little bit about how this party is going to shake out. Each of the artists will give us a presentation. Then, if time allows, I will ask them 1 to 2 questions that were previously submitted. At the end of the party, we're going to raffle off one $50 gift certificate for each of the artists' websites. Now that's 6 chances to win just for hanging out with us today. You do have to be present to win, so please stick around. We will also give you a special discount code at the end of the party, which will be good for all of the artists' websites, as well as my website and Nora's website. And that again is ekologic.com and swanandstone.com. At the end of the party, we're going to open up for chatting and do a little after party where we invite you to unmute yourself and mingle with us. That's a great time where you can actually ask us questions directly if you'd like. And if we missed a question or missed showing an item, we'll go ahead and bring those things back. Okay. Let's get to the fun stuff. Our first artist today is Joy Stember from Joy Stember Metal Arts. Joy, take it away.
Hello, hello. Thank you so much for joining tonight. I'm so excited to be here. And a little bit about me. My name is Joy Stember, and I am a pewter artist. So I work with pewter, brass, copper, sometimes silver, but I studied metalsmithing and jewelry design at Tyler School of Art, and I make Judaica and objects for the home. So Judaica is Jewish ceremonial art. So this is a Kiddush cup, and this is pewter on the top and brass on the bottom. The texture I achieved by typing out the Hebrew on the computer and then etching it into a piece of brass and then roll printing it, which is an embossing method that presses the brass into the pewter and creates this beautiful texture. Pewter is a really soft metal, and the pewter that I use is completely lead-free, so it is safe to drink from. Some of the other kinds of textures that I do, this is I call it large pebble, but it's like a hammered finish, again, roll printed. And these are candle holders. And all of my candle holders come with 2 sets of inserts. So this goes inside of here, not that one, goes inside of here. There we go. And it comes out so you can clean it, but there's also 2 different sizes. So you have one for Shabbat candles, which is the thicker one, and one for standard tapers, which is the larger diameter. I also make mezuzot, which is the plural of mezuzah. And this is my Victorian texture. The shin is done in brass, and they are all sprayed with a musical instrument lacquer, so they are safe for outdoors. This is one of my favorite ones. This is called the raised top mezuzah, and they all come with a photocopied scroll, but I do have kosher scrolls that are handwritten by scribes in Israel that are blessed for sale on my website as well. So this top is the Victorian texture, and this is a sanded finish. The shins are done in copper. And I also do some super cool things with 3D printing. 3D printing is like such a new technology, but this was 3D printed in steel, and then this is nickel plated. The scroll is encased in acrylic, so it keeps it nice and safe. And I forgot to show you before how the other ones go up. So there's a keyhole in the back, and you put double-sided tape. Everything is hand signed by me. Every piece is made by me, so I sign it to, further seal of approval. And you put the nail into the door frame and then a piece of double-sided tape on the bottom, and you stick it on. I do a lot of objects for the home as well. So these are some bottle stoppers, again, 3D printed. This one's 3D printed in steel with a chrome base and the rubber stopper. And then this one is printed in nylon. So it is like a plastic, but it's dyed black. And then I have a bunch of dreidels. This is my favorite one. This is a newer one. This is 3D printed in steel and then gold vermeil on top, so gold plated. And you can see you have the Hebrew letters all the way around. And what else do I want to show you? I think I'll show you a tzedakah box. So tzedakah boxes are basically like a piggy bank for charity. So all the money that you put inside is meant on Friday night to be given to the charity of your choice. So I've made this one. So the money goes in here, and there's a little hole in the top for change. And the detail extends all the way down into the lip. And again, everything is hand signed.
Your work is just so beautiful, Joy. What makes great wedding presents?
Oh, so I have, so in my wedding glass collection, I also sell the glasses. And so this particular glass, I have a bunch of different colors, but the gray is actually my favorite. These are handmade by a friend of mine in Chicago to my specifications. I used to be a glass blower in college. I double majored, but I don't have the setup anymore. So you take that glass that you smash under the chuppah, and then you can put them into candle holders. So the tops lift off, you fill it. It comes with a packet of epoxy, and you can seal it again with the interchangeable inserts. But I also have a mezuzah, and this one is my Star of David, and it's got brass accents and the scroll and the acrylic, and you just put a little bit of the glass. So you can kind of buy both of them, because usually when the glass breaks, there's more than enough glass to fill two different products. Yeah, so that's the two wedding items I have here, but you can see plenty more on my website.
Yeah, and why do you make Judaica? I know there's a wonderful story behind this.
So I went on a Taglit birthright trip to Israel. So for those that don't know, birthright is basically a trip for Jewish youth between the ages of 18 to 26. And I actually turned 26 on the trip. And it was an incredible opportunity to see all of Israel with a guided tour for 10 days. And I got to see the landscape, and I'd grown up Jewish, but I had never felt as connected as I did when I was in Israel. And Israel's just like an incredible place. I never felt safer. I never felt more at home or like I belonged before. And being in Israel was incredible. And so all the work that I came home and started making kind of subconsciously was Judaica. I started making Kiddush cups, and I kind of took it as a sign. I was a picture framer at the time. And I took the 5 pieces that I'd been making, and I started applying to shows, and I got in, and I was like, okay, I'm going to be a Judaica artist. And I went head first and been doing it 11 years since.
I just love that story. Now, do you have a product for great baby gifts?
I do. So I make a hamsa. And this is a sign of blessing and peace. And it's one of the, just a great symbol. And you can actually find a hamsa in many different faiths. So this one has a blessing for the baby. And I also do a mezuzah that is perfect for that as well. And all of the writing can be done in different colors. So I can do pink, blue, purple, yellow to match the baby's room, to whatever you want, I can do.
Well, thank you so much, Joy. It's a pleasure seeing your work. We have our time is up now, but your presentation was just lovely. We are going to move on to our next artist, and that is Jan Lichtenstein.
Hi, I'm Jan from It's by Jan, and I'm a fiber and glass artist. So I've been doing this for I've been an artist for about 25 years and probably a fiber artist for about 10. And I started doing it truly to, because I used to make jewelry, and I saw how hard it was to get into art shows with jewelry. So I thought, all right, I'm gonna try something else. So I decided to try doing fiber, and I found this scarf in Seattle that was absolutely beautiful. And I had no idea what they had done. And it took me about 2 years to figure out the process. And the process is actually shibori. And what shibori is a Japanese tie-dye. And I do a particular type of shibori, which is called a rashi shibori. And that means like wind and rain, but it really has the lines. So these lines that you see are all put in with dye. So I pleat it, I compress it, and then dye it. So that causes all these beautiful lines and the different patterns in there. So it kind of looks like wind and rain. I've been doing this for about, like I said, about 10 years. But recently I have actually come up with some new designs. And I have a few new ones coming up, probably for the show in July. But this is my new wave scarf. So it kind of like undulates. So that's why we call it a wave. It's similar in shape to the one I have on. But this has, you know, this is just such a beautiful blue. And kind of like the sea. So this one, the great thing about these scarves is you can wear them in many different ways. So you could actually do it this way, where you wear the whole thing over, or you can wear it as a wrap. So if you wear it as a wrap, my suggestion is always do a little fold. And since silk is so slippery, we have scarf magnets. And what the scarf magnets are, they're all done in fused glass. And if you put the back behind your shirt and the front in the front, your scarf will never move. You'll look like this the entire day. And you can be hands-free the whole time. Makes it really easy to dress. You can dress up just a t-shirt and a pair of shorts, and you put on one of these scarves and you're styling. You're looking really good. Also have many other colors. So let me actually show you a totally different one. So this is actually a bubble silk, and the silk has a elastic in the actual fabric. So if you look at it closely, you can see it stretches. That's actually the elastic in the fabric that makes all the little bubbles. And and you can see the lines in the patterns that come from the wrapping. Also have this other brand new style that I call a circle scarf. And I only have a few of them. I got one very long one, which is over here. You can see it. It has an extra tail. And then this one, which you could wear in many different ways, but this is probably the easiest. And then you have it as I think Kathleen, you said in an earlier party that you know, be great over like a spaghetti strap dress. And very simple, wouldn't make you too hot in the summer. You could even be in the sun. I mean, silk is great because one of the great things about silk is that it is very airy, and yet it will also keep you warm if you're chilly. Here's another one that's a little bit different, and some teals and purples. So this is the nice thing about these and the magnet is that you can have the really high, very dramatic ways to wear scarves. The other thing that I have with me, let me show you. Everything's just falling right off. But here's another version. I have recently started doing more neutrals, and I have always been, you know, as you can probably see from behind me, I like a lot of color, but I have found a lot of inspiration in neutrals recently. And I just see the elegance of them that I hadn't seen as much before. I'd always looked at them as like, all right, well, that's okay. And people like that, but really in looking at Monet and looking at even architecture, I see the elegance in the grays and the blacks and the beiges.
Well, it certainly looks elegant on you. Now, can customers request their own color combinations?
Absolutely. We can do anything from a neutral to kind of any group of colors you would like. And what I can do with people is I can, you know, we can do it together on a Zoom, as well as once I put some combinations of colors together, I can show you and you can see, okay, I like more of this one and less of this one on, you know, on swatches.
Would you mind standing a little closer to the camera so we can see the texture? I love seeing the texture, and and we get to see the magnets as well. Speaking of the magnets, are there other uses for the magnets?
There absolutely are. So one of the things you can do, and I have a lot of men who get them for a lapel pin. So they wear them on their lapels. You can also wear it as a, if I can move the scarf. Yeah, a second, between my hair and the scarf, you can wear it just as a brooch. Brooches are very popular this year. And the other thing you can do is if you take a necklace, you can, it has 2 magnets on this side, 2 magnets on this side. You can put it together over the chain in between the 2 magnets, and you can wear it as a necklace. And I have a number of different shapes, so I can show you some other. So like as an example, here would be great ones that would be, could be necklaces also. Have a nice rounded ends. And we also do a bunch of hearts.
Lovely. Well, thank you so much, Jan, for showing
Yeah,
us
thank
your
you.
beautiful work. We're going to move on to our next artist of the evening, which is Laura Burkett. Laura, take it away.
I'm unmuting. Hi, everyone. Thanks for coming and, oh, unmute myself. It's asking me. Okay, can you hear me now? Am I good?
Yes, yes, we can.
Hi, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you to our hosts. Hello again to all my other fellow artists. I am a designer maker of leather accessories and home decor items. I lived in Italy for 3 years, about 28 years ago, and that's where I started all this. I got all my inspiration to start up some designs of my own. I saw this wonderful craftsmanship and just beautiful design all around me, and the quality leather, just all of that really inspired me. And I had always been very obsessed is maybe a strong word with handbags, really my whole life, my whole adult life. So I decided I would try to render some of my own ideas in really nice leather. So one of my, I guess, most versatile pieces, I like to think, is this little sling. It is also a fanny pack or belt bag, and you can also entirely remove the strap and it becomes a clutch. And it is an incredibly roomy bag, deceptively so. Well, I put a pocket on the back for quick access documents or cards or whatever. And then, you know, you can see I've got money. I can fit a phone in here. I've got a little bit of makeup. So again, triforma in Italian, that would mean 3 forms or 3 ways to use it. So that's that guy. I make tote bags with this is just really, it's hard to demonstrate this if you're not in person to see just how soft and buttery this leather is that I use. I love it. I pick out all the hides myself, and I won't take it if it feels a little bit waxy at all. So I start with this really nice leather. And as you can see, my designs are fairly, you know, smooth, straight lines, a few little curves here and there. And you can see this sort of pleat detail on the front. This is a very handy front pocket. I'm always trying to consider, you know, functionality and make sure that these aren't just sort of, you know, pretty, flashy bags. They are, you know, they're highly functional. Now, the thing that I'm really excited about that I've been doing the last 2 or 3 years is lining my bags with brightly striped upholstery and awning grade material. Primarily, actually, almost all of it is sunbrella. So it's stain and water resistant, which means in a bag like this, if you leave your pear or banana in there a little too long, or you spill a little coffee, you don't need to despair. It can stand up to it. So these bags are really pretty robust in terms of how much they can carry and how they don't require a lot of maintenance at all. I mean, you can maybe put a little leather lotion on them occasionally, but I rarely do. And you can, it still looks great after about 3 years. So I started with variations on that theme. I mean, we have a lot of folks out there who are making leather bags, and I decided I was really inspired by the color. So it's almost the opposite of the trajectory, Jan, that you've been on with moving a little more into the neutral tones. I've gone from neutral tones, which are natural for leather, and moved into really bright color and been excited about that. So during the pandemic, I decided I'm checking my time. I wanted to make sure that, am I okay?
You don't even need to worry about that. I've got you.
I wanted to try to introduce something, you know, more of a home decor item. And I love this idea of using sunbrella with the leather. And I also had some smaller leather pieces that no way could I throw away. This is really, well, it's costly material. It's nice material. So I wanted to find other items that I could make that were a little smaller in size. So that's when this guy came to life. And so this has blossomed into other products. Well, several different colorways in that. Let's see, I have some bright orange and yellows. A lot of folks, it sort of surprised me. I consider this the back of the pillow, but a lot of folks, when they send me photos of how, where they have these in their home, I see the back. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. You're actually putting the back as the main side, but you obviously use them however you'd like. This is a really nice, well, this does incorporate some neutral tones, and this is the lining that I use in a lot of my bags, the totes anyway. As you can see, I work a lot with this dark chocolate brown because it's sort of my version of black, because there's so much gray in it that it still pairs pretty well. It pairs very well with black, or certainly with other colors as well. I did get a special request to use actual true black, so I do have that combination too. It just goes on. And so this is kind of, you're going to see more and more of this. These bags that you see behind me, these smaller totes that have leather on the bottom and the sunbrella on the top half, these are prototypes. These are what I hope to be introducing in the fall. And one more thing that I've started doing, because the pandemic made all of my beautiful sterling earrings feel very heavy. So I started making some really fun earrings. And these things are absolutely practically weightless and really fun to make. You can see I've got a few different shapes. Sorry, they're all kind of swinging here. Some lightning bolts for a little bit of sass. I do like circles, as you can see, and I do a little bit of the, different pattern on the left and right earring, just a little bit. Sorry,
No, this is great. We love seeing your design process and all the things that you were thinking about. How did you get into leather bag designs in the first place?
Well, like I said, I was living in Italy. I was actually working, it's, all a coincidence that was related to 9/11, actually. I was there to study the Italian language during that month of September, and I ended up meeting a gentleman that owns study abroad programs for American college students. So I ended up I wrote a marketing plan for him as a little project, and I ended up getting a full-time job coming out of that. And so I was living there with a regular, quote unquote, regular job in academia for 3 years. And that's how, on the side, every day I'm going past all of these, just inspiration, every inch of the way. I mean, in everything, architecture, art, all of it. I could go on and on about Italy, as you can tell. But that's where the leather thing started. I initially thought I would import some of the designs that they were making. And then I decided, no, I want to put more functionality in them and sort of make them maybe a little more suitable to the American market, make something that, folks can carry a computer in, a backpack. That was my initial design, was a backpack to carry a computer. So that's how it all got started. And I just sort of held on to that passion, and I've been developing it since then.
So it's such a great story. And I love how, our lives lead us into the things we need to design. So can you do custom colorations and things for people? How does that work?
Well, actually, I can and would love to do that. I'll show you some. If you have certain ranges of colors that you like to work with, again, I have chosen different color schemes that pair well with the leather that I've been using. But if you have let's say you have an upholstery project that you're doing and you want to send me a yard, not even a yard of your fabric, I can certainly put together, a pillow or two in that fabric. Or if you want to let me know what your preferred color scheme is, I can also suggest something.
Well, thank you so much, Laura. We're so happy to have you here with us at Art Party Central. And your work is just lovely. We're going to go on to our fourth artist of the evening, which is Karla Gudeon from Karla Gudeon Art and Design. Welcome, Karla.
Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for being here with us today. I am so super excited to be amongst the company of the artists that are here. It's like true honor to be a part of both Art Party Central and this particular party. I'm Karla of Karla Gudeon Art and Design, and I have a full line of goods and gifts where I've done the surface design from my paintings for those products. But my heart and the bulk of my work is in my original art, which are hand-colored engravings. I'm going to give you a little peek today at a drawing that I made one of my metal plates from. So this is an ink drawing that I did on vellum. And vellum is like a thicker form of a tracing paper. You can tell it doesn't crinkle as easily as a traditional tracing paper. And the other secret that I shared at the earlier party that I'll share here about the vellum is the neat thing it affords me is if I make a mistake, like if my hand slipped and I got a black line here, I could take a straight edge razor and without ripping this paper, it's that strong, I could scratch off the extra ink. I could burnish it down with a smooth burnisher and it'll be like I erased it. And I also shared that having those straight edge razors around my house were the reasons my kids thought I didn't like them when they were growing up, because they were everywhere. I'd leave them, I don't know, terrible mothering, report me to CPS. Anyway, this is what comes from that drawing is I then make a metal plate. And the metal plate, you can see the drawing is carved backwards into the plate. And from there, I have the flexibility to print onto whatever paper I want. In this case, I printed onto a white cotton rag. And I've also printed onto a jute, which is a rope fiber paper that it's made from. And then the last stage to get the work that you see behind me is to go in with watercolors, which everyone thinks is gouache or acrylic because of the depth of color that I get on these pieces. And this is what it looks like once my pieces has been hand painted. And in terms of a topic for Art Party, I've done quite a few, and I always like to approach it with something different. And in a lot of cases, it's about an occasion that's coming up or a theme like strong women or trees of life. And in this case, something weird this week zeroed me in on the idea of doing a presentation based on the power of the number 3. And what it was is I'm a single woman in my 60s and a friend and I go on dating sites and we have this rule about 3 for eliminating guys, that they have to have like 3 things wrong with the profile, including what we call the great trifecta, which is misusing 2, your, and their all in one profile paragraph. But with that, I started thinking that the 3 is really significant. And I always try and design in groups of 3. I hang in groups of 3. And I know it's not just me. So I started looking into it a little bit more. And it turns out that there's a rule of 3, even in writing, that it engages the reader in a more satisfying and effective way to have something happen in a group of 3 than in a twosome. Also in our brains, a pair is not considered a pattern, but as soon as we see 3 of something, our brain's excited because they see it as a pattern. And it also forces the eye to move around, which in my mind means it zeroes in on your art. So you can see I've taken 3 pieces from my classics collection. I Am My Beloved and My Beloved Is Mine, a Hamsa, and a Tree of Life. And even though they're in different frames and different mats, the triangle that they make when grouped together makes them work both individually and as a unit. And I love that idea that when you do things in groups of 3, often they make a triangle, as in this piece, which is one of my favorites I've ever done, called Sweet Surrender. And I just don't think it would have the same power if it was 2 women or 4 women. There's something about the 3. I customize this piece a lot for families. Often it's 3 sisters or a mother and 2 daughters. And so I'll customize the skin tone, the hair color, the eye color. But for my home, I wanted to see it as one world of women. So I have 3 different skin tones, 3 different kinds of women. But in any case, it makes that triangle in groups of 3. My little ones, which make great gifts, I often design in groups of 3. So I'm going to reach behind me. I'm showing how they can hang as a triangle like this or in a straight line. And I'll bring over the ones in the straight line so you can see them closer. We have The Light in Me honors the light in you. We have Let It Go, because after last year, we all have a lot of shit to let go. And then we have Inner Peace. And then the one down there that's still there is Breathe. But again, you could see I designed my elephants in groups of 3. And then I also have behind me, let's see if I could duck, I have my botanicals. And I have them hanging in a powerful straight line in a group of 3. Do you have a minute to show a couple more, Kathleen?
Yes, go right ahead. And then I got a question for you.
So another thing in progress is customer remembered a piece that isn't even on my website anymore. So this is half painted, but it's going back to Joy's Judaica. This is my 3 yentas, which means gossips. And they could be derogatory, but it also could be joyful, like 3 women that like to get together and shoot the breeze. So there's my little yentas in progress. And then another one I thought I'd bring out that would hang really beautifully in a kitchen or dining room in groups of 3 are my food pieces. So I did them as oversized topiaries in little vases. So I've got my hot pepper topiary where the color is like super, super rich. And I've got a pear topiary. And then I've got a pomegranate topiary, and pomegranates symbolize abundance and good deeds and all sorts of good stuff. And I bet you could picture them in a kitchen, again, either in that triangle or in a straight line in a kitchen or dining room, because why not hang food in the places where we eat food?
Yeah, I love seeing those new pieces. I heard that you should change your art a couple of times a year. Like, why would I do that?
You know, very similar to this theory of the group of three, because when your eye is moving around, it wakens you up to what you're seeing and it gives you a feeling of excitement. And we change so much with the seasons. We change our wardrobes. We change a lot of times our behavior, the way we think, how much time we spend inside, how much time we spend outside. And art is something that, depending on the way your mind works, you either walk in your house and you notice what you have on your wall all the time and you appreciate it and it should bring you joy or it should bring emotions out in you. But a lot of times when you get too used to something, it becomes invisible. So art is a great thing to keep in rotation. And, you know, and there's this feeling of renewal when you hang something on the wall, and it feels new even if you have it. So I do rotate the art in my home because, again, it wakens me up to my collection and to what I have.
I love that. I mean, I've never done that in my life, but now that I've heard about this, absolutely, I'm going to try it. That means I'm going to need some more of your art.
Okay, and you're not allowed to put away the one that, you know.
No, I'm not putting that one away at all. No, I have a beautiful piece
Just
of
like I don't put your cashmere away at the end of the season.
That's
There
right.
we go. We're even.
Thank you so much, Karla. It's always a pleasure to hear your presentation. We're going to go to our fifth artist of the evening, and this artist is new to Art Party Central, as was Laura this evening. So welcome, Mimi Kirchner.
Hi, am I unmuted? Am I good?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good. Hi, I'm so happy to be here for the first time, and I'm Mimi Kirchner, and I make what I like to refer to as art dolls, are art toys, and I'm a lifelong maker. I started out doing jewelry as a teenager, and then I was a potter for 20 years after going to art school, and then I came back to my first love of fiber arts and around 2000. And yeah, it's been a really great time. And I make all kinds of characters. I use a lot of reclaimed fabrics and what I like to refer to as rescued fabrics, because I started out using fabrics from my mom's stash up in the attic, and she was a fashion sewer, and a lot of the things were never used. So it wasn't like I was taking clothing that was cut up, but it was definitely the kind of thing that my siblings would have thrown in the dumpster. And it's gone on from there. I mean, even recently I got a message from someone who was like, I have, you know, I don't know, a big box of fabric from my aunt, and would you be interested? And I always say yes, because I figure I can get rid of it, but I always want to see what's in it. So so it's a mix of rescued fabrics and new fabrics. I do, so as an example, this is a fish pillow, and you can see it's made out of an old sweater and I wash it and felt it up, and like the top fin is that's the ribbing up from the bottom, and all the different textures, and so that's really fun. And then I do some dyeing. So I have these these are cotton, most of so I use different natural materials, cotton, wool, but these ones I over dye commercial fabrics into skin tones. various sorts, imaginary skin tones and real skin tones. So I do like to do some that are mythical creatures like mermen and green men, and yeah, so that's always fun. And then I have all my little animal characters, and here's a little kitty cat. The kitty is fully you can, all the clothes come off and they're jointed on the side. It's wool. The faces are hand embroidered, and she's got a little silk ribbon. And I don't know if you can see, but her dress has a little teeny mice on it. And then she's got a corduroy jacket with some vintage buttons, and her little purse, which opens up, has a little antique button on it, and it has her little goodies in it, like a little notebook. And I often put a little bit of lunch money in there. When I walk around, if I find a penny on the street, I pick it up and then I'll put it in one of my little guys' bags or pockets or something. So then I have what I call some more of the pillow dolls, and these are this is like a very simple shape. This is swaddled baby, and it's wool applique, and this is made out of Angora fabric. So interestingly, this is the same pattern, but one is like twice as big as the other, because this is a woven fabric and this is a knit, and so they grow when I stuff them. Now this is a style that I love doing, which is a very folk arty style, and it's all wool applique. And I mean, all the fabrics have a story. A lot of this fabrics came from, I did a craft fair where there was a woman near me who was making cashmere coats, and she brought me this gigantic bag of her scraps, all this beautiful cashmere fabric. And so I've just been using, I mean, it was such a gift to me, whereas it's trash to her. And yeah, so that's, and I also do this style of the folk art on these lady pillow dolls. So you can see a similar kind of, it's almost like a canvas with a decoration on the front. It's plain on the back. And, these dolls get used like a pillow. People put them on a bed, people put them on a sofa, on a chair, or they can hang it on a wall.
Mimi, we're having a request for a teacup.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Would you be willing to show us a teacup?
Yeah. So these are my pin cushions, because even though I doubt many people use them as pin cushions, you can pretend that they're practical. I mean, come on. So each one of these, so this is a topiary manor house made on a thrifted teacup. And each one of these is made on a little pin. I don't know if you can see, so you can rearrange it into your own whatever design you want. And it's all made, this is all a big wool ball I've covered with the fabric. So that's the,
I love that you can move it around. I just think it's fabulous. Your pieces really draw in connection. It's really incredible. Do you have a favorite doll?
Well, I always find that the things that I'm working on at the time are my favorites, but but then by the time I've made about, I like to make things in groups. And so I'll do like 10 of one design, and then I move on to the next thing. By the time I get to the 10th one, it's totally not my favorite anymore, but I move on to the next one, and then that's my favorite. But
so, what do you think it is that draws people to your work? And tell us a little bit about your customer.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like people look at my work and it touches something in their heart. They look at it and they're like, somehow that reminds me of me. And so that's I mean, that's how I like to think about it. But I mean, people buy them for all kinds of reasons. People, you know, and I think of the men as the imaginary boyfriends. And I know, I mean, a lot of people really get a kick out of that. And they get, and it's, yeah, different people connect to different things, but people can also buy them for commemorative reasons, wall art, pillow, just home decor. You never, I mean, I love it when people tell me why they buy, but you just never know.
Well, they're charming, and those men are handsome.
Oh, thank you. Thank
You
you.
make wonderful, wonderful dolls. Thank you so much, Mimi. Our sixth artist of the evening is Jennifer Lippman-Bruno. Welcome, Jennifer, and please take it away.
Hi, everyone. So I'm Jennifer from Jennifer Lippman-Bruno Design. I know quite a few of you, but for those of you who don't, here's a very brief history how I got to where I am today. Went to college, pre-med psych major, graduated art history major, studied jewelry design for 2 years, one in Philly, way before Joy, and the next in New York. I stayed in New York, and I became the design director for a very high-end jewelry designer. They were around for 36 years. I was with them for the last 5. They decided to close. So I went to my next love, which is knitting. And I had my own business where I designed pattern and accessories for hand knitters. I had that for over 10 years, was able to sell it, and then went back to my true love, which is jewelry. When I went back, I knew I had to do something a little different, a little funky. So I started with sterling silver and concrete. So for all of these pendants, they are reversible. So you'll either have the same thing on both sides, or if you see that there's a metal sheet, when you flip it over, it can have a different color concrete. So so everything's reversible, always gonna look absolutely adorable. For the earrings, everyone is always concerned about the weight. Concrete is one of the lightest material. It's lighter than stone, it's lighter than resin, it's porous. So even these larger earrings, you can wear all day without a problem. I can't wear heavy earrings, so I do not make heavy earrings. This one in particular, I'm going to show you something soon with that. Just remember that one. So then, unlike my earrings, my rings tend to be really large. Again, I started with the sterling silver and concrete. I like to do something fun on the bottom. I call it the elevated bubblegum ring. So it's slightly adjustable, meaning I adjust it and then you just love it. So I did the sterling silver and concrete. Then I was really missing the good old days with the really expensive stuff. So I decided to start adding a little bit of my own bling. So this ring is, again, the sterling silver concrete. And then I added some diamonds, some gray diamonds. And then this piece is sterling silver and pink concrete with a little pink diamond. So just really feminine. So then I was like, well, really fun. I did the silver, the concrete, added the diamonds. Why not take it one step further and add gold? So for all of these pieces, the bezels are 14 karat yellow gold with the concrete and the diamonds. They're all on oxidized sterling silver chain. Now these pendants normally are not reversible since they stay perfectly aligned, but this one style in particular does dance when you wear it. So I just put a diamond on each side so it looks absolutely, there you go, fantastic. And then the earrings that I told you to remember, I translated those into the gold also. So these are the gold, concrete, and diamond. And then depending on what color concrete, I normally like to match the diamond. So the pink again has the pink diamond, the gray with the gray, and then the natural white has the brown. And these are the 4 shapes. I'm wearing the 4th one, which has the square, and this is a blue with a gray diamond. So that's not going on. With that being said, everything I do is normally muted, a little more quiet. And I wanted to do something much more with a punch. It's warm outside. Well, depending on where you are, it's scorching. So here are a few pieces that I did that have much more color. This is sterling silver, concrete, and alligator skin. And when I said I liked big rings, I like really big rings. So this is just a simple band, simple shape, but just really fun with the color and the texture. Another piece that has the really fun texture with the alligator skin are these earrings, super lightweight. So even though you get a nice size, they're very comfortable to wear. And then another guilty pleasure of mine are beads. I love beads. Just trying to get this a little neater for you to see. So these necklaces, there we go, are the dark blue is lapis, and then the turquoise is apatite, and the multi-green is chrysocolla. And these all have the 14 karat bezel with the concrete. And then the clasp is a simple hook that I made in the gold also. So just a simple way to add a lot of color to make it happy.
So Jennifer, we actually have a question in the chat,
Yes.
and Robin asked, do you make your own concrete?
Well, I buy the powder. It's a powder specifically, it's a very fine powder. So then I do mix it and dye it myself. Yes. I do.
That. And so how do you take care of this concrete jewelry? Is there any special things that we need to know?
Well, if you think about it like pearls, since it's porous, there is a sealant that I do put on it to protect it. But treat it like a pearl. So if you put your lotions and potions and hairspray and perfumes on, put this on last, take it off first. And to get the silver or the gold all nice and new looking, I get a steel wool, like a 4-0 steel wool from any hardware store, and just rub it clean.
Beautiful. That's great. It sounds like it's so easy and your work is so lovely. Now, is there a chance that you work with one-on-one with customers? Like, how would that happen?
I love it. You can contact me. We can do Zoom, email, phone calls, whatever you're comfortable with. I can show you pieces and we just go from there. Very easy to do.
Okay, that's amazing. Thank you so much. Is there one last piece you'd like to show?
Well, I'll show this little piece off. This was, I entered a competition. It was called Battle of the Rings. And so this is 3 different layers and they all move. You can't really see. And each level has a little diamond on it. And then on the bottom, there's one little diamond just for the wearer to have for themselves.
Oh,
and that's just a fun ring. It's your own little personal fidget spinner. An adult one.
Yes, an adult one. Thank you so much for your presentation.
Thank you.
It has been such a fabulous evening. I want to thank all of the artists for sharing your stories, showing us your incredible work. And we also want to thank you as well, those that have come to share the evening with us. And before we draw the raffle prizes, we just want you to know how much we appreciate you. You are the reason that we make our work in the first place. And having you show up here today with us and being a part of these parties brings us so much inspiration, hope, and fills up our creative pools. So thank you. We love having this platform to connect with you, and we can't wait to see it grow and continue thriving with your help. And just so you know, your likes and follows and all the artists' social media and shares about these events really means the world to us. So thank you, and please keep it up. And don't forget to tell everyone how much fun you had today. All right. Now, I'm going to be passing this off to our co-host soon. Our co-host Nora is going to choose one winner for each website randomly from everyone that is still on the party. And we encourage you to unmute yourself so you can help us cheer for all the winners. It's a lot more fun when we do it together. So now let's celebrate and choose the winners of the gift certificates. Nora, take it away.
Woohoo! Hi, everyone. Yes, please do unmute so that you can help me cheer. I hate the resounding silence if nobody does.
Exactly.
And if you are a winner, would you please put your email in the chat for me so that I can find you to send you your gift certificate. All right, without further ado, let's see. For Joy Stember Metal Arts, we have Rika Woolman.
Woohoo! Rika!
Thank you. That was very nice cheering. It's by Jan. So for It's by Jan, we have Lisa Cooney.
Lisa.
Woohoo. All right. And for Laura Burkett Designs, we have Robin Kemper.
Robin! Congratulations.
And Karla Gudeon, Art and Design. We have Chicken Lady 58. Woohoo! What a cute person behind the name. And for Mimi Kirchner, we have Liz Iverson.
Woo! Liz! Excellent.
Thank you so much.
And for Jennifer Lippman-Bruno Designs, we have Rachel Hamilton.
Woohoo!
Yay.
Yay, Rachel. Congratulations. Congratulations to all of the winners. And because we want everyone to leave here feeling like they have won something, you all will receive a coupon code for 10% off all 6 of the makers' websites, and as well as my website at ekologic.com and Nora's website at swanandstone.com. The coupon will be good from today through July 2nd, so head over to the websites and do some retail therapy. The coupon code for today's party is Art Party 626, and that's all capital letters. I know Nora's going to put it in the chat for you, but again, it is Art Party 626. And we will send a follow-up email to everyone with this code and the links to the website of all of the artists and Nora and myself from the party today. So no worries about not having access. We're going to send that right to your email. To give you a wrap up and tell you what's going on at Art Party Central, we are about ready to go into our summer schedule, which means that the parties, there's going to be one party in July, one party in August before we start our fall parties. So definitely come join us on Thursday, July 22nd. We have some fabulous artists: Jennifer Lippman-Bruno Designs, Megan Patrice Riley Jewelry, Ellen Cohen Design, Karla Gudeon Art and Design, Eileen Schwartz Jewelry, Mimi Kirchner, and It's by Jan. The fabulous thing is there's a lot of time for these artists to be percolating new ideas in between. So it's one that you do not want to miss. You can RSVP at artpartycentral.org to get your link. I want to shout out to my co-host today, Nora Swan, for helping out. She is the reason things have gone so smoothly. You may not have seen her, but she's in the background and taking care of all little issues that might come up. So thank you so much, Nora. Please go and see her fabulous work at swanandstone.com. I think I can say for all of the artists that you guys rock. We miss seeing you in person, but this has been such a great way to stay connected. We know you are all busy, but if you would like to stay, we are going to hang out, ask questions, and you're welcome to ask questions directly to the artists and just have a chat, an after party chat. So with that said, let's get to our after party chat. I'm going to ask Nora. Nora, have you collected some questions for people?
There was a question. The first that comes to mind was a little one that Jan could answer. So let me find her and spotlighter. So Jan, somebody I hope they didn't ask, you didn't talk about this, but someone was asking if you make your shibori scarves in cotton.
I can certainly
Do you
do
ever-
that, and I'm happy to. We can just get together. You can tell me kind of the feel of what you know, how you want it to flow on you. We can pick the right cotton and pick the colors.
And I'm so glad you brought that up, Nora, because that customer was also mentioned that they were vegan. And sometimes we forget about those things. So I thought that was really great information for you to know, Jan, that this is a vegan person that's interested in the cotton.
Yes, absolutely. And it is something I'm happy to do.
Okay, great. I found there was a question also for Laura. I don't know if you have that one down, Nora, but
Go for it.
okay. Laura, someone was asking to see the bag above the pillows. So I think it was that one of the men's, the satchel, nope, just to the opposite side above the, yes, I
Yes,
believe it was this one.
This is a messenger bag that has quite a large capacity. It can hold a pretty big laptop. Has a separate pocket in the back with a little bit of a tongue that you can thread through, a loop in there if you need to. And get some of this out of here so you can see there's quite a bit of room. We have on the back a couple of flat pockets. I also make this in the dark chocolate brown that you've been seeing so much of. What I've done with these pockets, there's actually a secondary pocket in here that is also perforated. That's intended for your phone, if your phone's not too big to go in there, and hopefully you can hear it a little better with that perforation. And the strap is deliberately wider so that you can, it's just more comfortable as a wider strap. And this just ages really well over time because this particular piece is veg tan leather.
Thank you so much for showing that to us. Nora, have you got some more questions, or does anyone in the audience have questions?
Long pause so the audience.
Be brave.
If no one else does, I wanted to talk actually to Mimi about her costume design. And because I noticed that so much of the clothing that you put these creations in is so dead on, like that lumberjack in the center back there. Like I've totally seen so many dudes in that complete outfit. So do you spend time like going around and looking at what people are wearing? How is
Well,
it?
I just
Like
take walks in the world and check it out. Check out what's going on. He's a tattooed lumberjack. He's got his, I don't know, he's got a lady friend there, and
and his beard, his 3-part beard.
and he has a.
Oh my God.
Now the other thing is that I hang them up with a safety pin,
Ah,
and so if people don't want to hang it, they can just take it off. But it's a good way to hang it.
Well,
I mean,
Mimi, they're also politically correct with the safety pin. That's a thing too, right?
What do you mean?
The safety pin, you're in a safe space.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, nobody's going to see this one.
Yeah, that's really a neat thing to
And their
bring up.
body language. You get their body language right, like the skinnier dude. Anyway, yeah.
That's right. And I loved how when you work with the knit, it becomes bigger. I mean,
Yeah.
with my work, that's sort of the same thing. The knit sort of decides what it wants to be, and it's my job to sort of guide it in one direction or the other. But in the end, the knit wins.
Yeah. Well, they're all one of a kind because I mean, like you, Kathleen, I'm using reclaimed fabrics, and when they're gone, they're gone.
Exactly. Exactly. I'm going to send you some cashmere deconstructed seams for your next project. Great. Okay. So let's see. I think, Nora, do we have, we should ask Joy to come back and show that menorah if you can.
Okay. So this menorah is made out of pewter and brass, and it's called the Negev menorah. And what's cool about it is that the large pebble texture is separated from the body of the menorah with little pegs that are all soldered on. And the other cool part is that the top pieces here are threaded, so it helps make the candle stand straight up. And the way that you go about cleaning a metal menorah is to run it under hot water, not boiling, but hot, and take Q-tips and clean out the wax, and then a soft cloth on the other metal parts after the hot running water, and it loosens up the wax enough to clean. I did not clean this menorah from the last Hanukkah, but before I use it again, I will clean it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so very much. Let's see. This is for Joy. What is on the back wall? Is it a light fixture, and did you make it?
This is actually, it's a blown up picture of a small Kiddush cup. And it's about 7 inches by 7 inches, and it is sterling silver and bronze. So that part up top is sterling silver, and that rests in those bronze arms. And it is a limited edition of 36 pieces. We are up to, I think, number 21. Yeah, and when you look down on it, it forms a Jewish star.
Oh, wow. That's, you know, I love the way you think about things and your textures, and you're really sort of putting an amazing spin on this art form. Let's see here. Does anyone in the audience have some questions? We'd love to hear from you, or you can put it in the chat and I'll just read that. But if there is another piece you'd like to see, Karla, please come and show us one of your favorite pieces.
Okay, well, I happen to love my Sweet Surrender because I love my girls. Okay, let's see if I could do this without killing myself. I have to get all 4 stools, but I want to grab somebody. Is my winner still here? Is my chicken lady still here?
Karla, while you're out there, if you can reach them, I don't think we've ever showed anybody the collaboration with the birds with the hat.
I would love to, and I have shown them, but I don't have them handy. They're in my office space.
Okay.
So that will have to be the next time. But the person that won, her screen name was Chicken Lady. I have Where Are My Girls At?
Look at that.
I thought is really fun for anybody who's into chickens. And then another one of my absolute favorites are, and I should show 2 because we shouldn't play favorites with my kids, is I did portraits of my kids, what I thought they would look like as birds. So we have Night Owl, and this comes with Night Owl in English or Hebrew, and Normal is overrated. And Sam is really solid and self-assured. He calls his mother every day to tell me how great he is. And Max is quirkier and more unique like me and celebrates his non-normalness. So those are my boys as birds. And, you know, some of my favorite commissions have been Trees of Life, where people ask me to design birds to represent their family members and give me personality traits. And I come up with a bird portrait.
I love that, Karla. There is something in the chat that I wanted to tell you. So Rachel says that yes, Chicken Lady is still here, and she has that piece that you showed of your girl. So that's really cool.
That.
Maybe,
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
I'm very happy. One of my best friends had a pet chicken. Her name was Lucy. And when Lucy passed away, both my son and I became pescatarian in her honor. And Lucy used to have free reign, not of a yard, but of this McMansion on Long Island. And she'd jump on your lap and you'd give her, she'd like kind of hold out her feet, and she'd like her feet getting manicured. It was a bizarre thing, but it was wonderful.
You're a chicken diaper?
that is
Not in the
incredible.
food sense. She was delicious in terms of having a lot of chicken personality.
That's great. Now, Abby has asked actually that she's interested in a preview of Laura Burkett's bags that are in the fall collection, the leather bottom with fabric on top. And thank you so much, Karla.
Okay, so let's see if I can get it down.
This is the fun of art party.
Right?
Doing
The
the
unexpected is always going to happen. So this actually came together 2 weeks ago. I wanted a break from making pillows, and I thought, why don't I try to make, I don't know, a different tote and incorporate some of these happy stripes. And so just because I like longer straps myself, I made it with longer straps. And then this, I've started doing this and to have some peekaboo holes. And now that's actually become a part of my logo because I like to be able to see that color through these holes. So that's kind of become my special mark. You'll see that more and more. And then this one is just a shorter strap, 2 straps again, but always long enough to be able to just pop it over your shoulder like that. And these bags are really lightweight. They're unlined. It's a simpler construction. There is a side pocket. I mean, again, this is a really rough prototype, so it's not perfect, but that's why it's not right now. It's a fall item. I wanted to have them for the folk and jazz festivals, but that's not going to happen. It's going to be a pillow festival.
Well, maybe someone here is going to ask you to finish it up for them too.
That'd be great.
Oh, wonderful. So Nora, have I forgotten any questions, or if you have one for our next artist?
I'm sorry. If we did have more questions, whoever asked more questions, speak up, because I don't think I must have missed something.
Okay. Well,
I have another Joy question.
Yeah.
Joy, I don't know if you showed it. I missed it if you showed it this time, but the piece that I thought was so interesting was the one that, I don't know if it was a candle holder, but you could commemorate, someone's passing on the day of their passing. What is it called?
It's called a Yortzeit, and it's YARZEIT, Yortzeit. I think there's a T in there too. But yeah, so this is basically a box. And this has the candle I'm using in here is actually a Holocaust remembrance candle, since that just passed. But so you can put a Yortzeit, it fits a regular Yortzeit candle. And this one, if I can get the light right, it's, this one says in loving memory of Max Cutler, who is my great uncle. He and I used to go to, after his wife passed, he didn't have any children, so he didn't have any grandchildren. And so I became like his grandkid, and we would go out to dinner in Philadelphia every week. He would take me out and to the fanciest restaurants. He was very, connoisseur, wanted me to be a dentist, but here we are. So this is the one I did for him. But so you can, I do these where you can put them right on or with magnets, so you can put multiple people's names, or keep it completely blank and use it as a generic one.
I love that tradition. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, thank you.
And I'd like to take it back to Jan. Jan, do you have a favorite piece or something that you've been working on that you would like to share?
So glad you asked.
Oh, what fun.
Sorry. All right, so this is a cascading circle scarf. And the great thing about these is that there are so many ways that you can wear them. So you can wear it as, regular shawl, and then you have these beautiful little almost bells coming down. Or you can do what I like to do, because of these beautiful bells, is to do it this way. So you can kind of put it over your shoulders, kind of that way. If you want it to stay, because as we discussed before, silk is very slippery, you can just do a little magnet with the magnet back behind your shirt, and then you have a beautiful style.
Do you mind I'm always asking you to come up so I can see those
Oh,
wonderful
sorry.
pictures that you create. Well, especially this is so striking that I really wanted to see it up close.
Sure.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Jen, I hope you provide like a tutorial card with all the different ways you can use and wrap a scarf, because I mean, I get so intimidated with all the different ways, and I just end up, with all my scarves, just doing a very literal.
Yeah, well, it's one of the
wrap.
great things about the magnets is it allows you to do things that you see people do like online or at parties that are so fancy, but you have no idea how they got to stay that way.
Right.
So this allows you to like, just stick the magnet somewhere and it all stays. But
Nice.
as well, I do a video, and I'm about to do a new version of maybe like 3 videos, 3 different ways to wear like a couple of different scarves.
Nice.
That's great.
And there's also instructions on how to use the magnet on every card.
Excellent. Well, does anyone else have a question? And don't be shy about just shouting it out too. I mean, that's half of the fun is, the serendipity of what happens. So, but if you don't have any more questions, I think that we are done for the evening. We want to thank you so much for coming and spending time with us. We so appreciate all of your support, and you bring us a lot of inspiration. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a wonderful evening and a great rest of your weekend.
Thank you.
Bye. Bye, Abby. Bye, Frederica.